like that. That's groovy.
That's a vibe.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Mullin It Over here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We're back at it, back in the saddle again.
Yeah, absolutely.
My special guest joining me in the studio right now, Tim Matthews. How we doing, bud?
Hey, what's going on, dude?
You see it, man.
Absolutely.
We are getting settled in here. Of course, we got the wizard, Greg Kinn, on the ones and twos. Shout out to Greg for another podcast. I mean, what's this, 4 in a row now? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Jeez, man.
Wow.
I mean,
Pretty much.
I hope somebody's paying you good, man.
On a roll.
Anyways, once again, we're here for another episode of Mullin It Over. It's been a while since we've done an episode of Mullin It Over, but I want to get back in the saddle, get back in the swing of things. I feel like I've been focused on growing the brand of Heart of Ohio Sports so much that I kind of stepped away from growing myself a little bit, you know,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
just trying to put so much into the brand and making sure that everything succeeds and everything's successful. It's like I was so stressed out for a while about, man, I'm gonna make sure I have enough to pay the bills, pay my guys, pay everything, keep everything on. And now it's like, all right, we're a little less stress now.
Yeah.
And so I can focus a little bit more on myself. And I feel like this is a little bit more of me. I get myself out there a little bit more, and that's why I like doing it. I've been local people, support local businesses. So with this Mullin It Over thing, I really want to try to keep this local and try to not only support local businesses, but also local guys like yourself who are out there, you know, creating content, being an influencer, trying to, you know, just pursue your passions. I think that's cool. I find that really, honestly, it's intriguing to me to watch people pursue their passions. Like, I think that's one of my favorite things to do is watch people grow. Like watching my friend Cody Dull. You see an interview here in just a little bit.
Absolutely. I love watching his streams.
Yeah. So
sure.
he has grown so much since he started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
His stream has evolved so much.
Now his Keeping It Geekly thing, blowing up, dude.
Dude, it's crazy what he's doing.
Crazy to
with
watch. I love it.
So let's talk about you. Once again, this is Tim Matthews.
What's going on?
A lot of different hats that you wear. You just talk about squirrel. Hey,
that's facts.
You know,
that's facts. I also have a lot of hats.
Yeah,
so,
you really do. Talk about what you kind of. I can't really say what do you do because you do a lot. So let's talk first of all about this latest collaboration you've been doing with West Gibson.
Dude, the track with West Gibson. Okay, so Reagan released a track earlier this year called Spiral.
Okay.
And I love it. I had it on repeat for like the longest time. Made my Spotify top 100. Like
that's awesome.
How it does your Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah.
I had a lot of Open Wound, West Gibson, Dissected, stuff like that. The local guys, Colin. I heard the song, really liked it, had it on repeat. I hit him up. I'm like, hey, we should do a collab. I was like, I want to remix one of your songs. I enjoy it. I like the sound. I always have. Maybe we can do something, switch it up, make it a little different.
Right.
So I took it, put some hip hop drums over it. This was his idea because I actually had just originally used his drum track, and he was like, what do you think about adding some hip hop drums to it? And I was like, I like the way you think.
That's sweet.
So I took it, tried adding some EDM drums at first because I thought I could hear it better. And I was like, no, that really isn't going to work. So I took his idea, hip hop drums, 808s, drums, let it ride.
Everybody likes 808.
808s, and then I brought his guitar lead back in over top of it. It's seamless. But the track's out now. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Apple Music. You can just look it up on YouTube. It is Spiral, the Bad Luck remix featuring West Gibson, because DistroKid does this weird thing where you have to like do like a feature instead of doing like hey, these guys are both like co-writers.
Yeah.
So you have to like feature them. Like, it's their song though. I don't want to feature them.
Right.
But you have to like add a completely different artist slot for that.
Yeah. Spotify's kind of weird with that kind of stuff, but it's a really cool platform for guys like yourself, guys like us, like what we're trying to do, get it out there to the masses.
I just want to say I'm not knocking DistroKid. DistroKid is like the best independent distributor that you can get. Like, they give you so many features. Like, they give you the videos. Like, you literally just put your song on it.
That's awesome.
And they'll just give you like a video that you can just
that's really cool.
Use for free advertisement. It's awesome. It's great.
Oh yeah. So you mentioned Bad Luck. That's kind of your project, like your personal thing, right?
I'm not gonna say it's me.
Well, I mean, you're the brainchild. You're the one that started it, right? Or no?
Okay.
This is why we need to clear this up. Clear the air here.
This is the first time I'm actually gonna get to tell this story.
Yes.
So I've always been into music, and I never imagined at first that I was gonna do hip hop. Like, I was always more metal, punk, pop, that kind of stuff, like alternative.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, Burgess, and his friend, Scratch, who's a really good friend of mine now, they mow together. They landscape. So they had this idea. They're just, like, freestyling in their heads when they're driving, write it down, type it in a notepad on your phone or something like that, and they would just practice it and practice it and practice it. And eventually they're like, hey, you like making music, right? I'm like, I do.
That's awesome.
I was like, you're right. They're like, what do you think about making hip-hop beats? I'm like, how? I was like, how do you make hip-hop beats?
Yeah. Well,
we had a comment here from Ferris. He said, metal is sick.
Metal is sick.
dude, metal is sick, dude.
With 2 C's.
So, like, well, that's why, like, it's so easy for me to enjoy the local scene, is because, like, I get into everything that's done around here.
Yeah.
And it's
for
all,
sure.
it's
You
all
are
done
really,
well.
and I feel like you're one of those guys that you're like a chameleon in the music scene. Like, literally, that's a great way to describe what you do, because you can literally morph into any scene that you're in.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like,
I always got along with everybody in high school as much as I could. Like, I love my alone time, don't get me wrong, I always have, but, like, just if I'm walking through the hallways and shit, I got along with everybody.
Yeah.
So it's just like easy to get into music.
Right. Absolutely.
Everybody's suggesting music to you. Just check it all out. Why not?
Well, and that's kind of the way, that's kind of the way to do it. I feel like if you pigeonhole yourself and you stick to one kind of brand or niche, you're only going to appeal to that one audience. And you can really gain a cult following in that crowd, in that group, and you can create a passionate fan base within that group, in that niche.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of people that do that, and they're very proud of it. And I got nothing against those people at all, but I feel like if you're trying to push your music and you want it to get to more ears than just the people that like exactly the kind of music that you do, then you want to kind of try to be more diverse and spread your wings a little bit when it comes to musical diversity, like.
Sometimes, like, in the back of your head, though, sometimes when you do that, it does make you wonder, like, am I making myself too broad? Because when we release tracks, we release a lot of different sounds. Like, we got that collab with West Gibson, which is a punk pop hip hop. Then we got a lot of pop sounding songs. And then we've got a couple of, like, we started with hip hop.
Right.
We kind of transitioned into this, like, poppy upbeat track sound. But we still do hip hop. But then we're, like, treading completely different waters with the pop punk.
Right.
And that's why I have, like, the 824 page for all of my, like, EDM and stuff, because I
love pop punk. That's, like, my favorite.
I know, man. It's just so fun to listen to, and it's so fun to make, and Reagan is so good at it.
Oh, for sure, dude.
That I would just love to remix every single song that he has.
One of the things that I really loved about, like, when he first started doing this stuff is I would listen to it and I'd be like, man, this would sound so good with vocals. Like, I can hear what the vocals would sound like over top of this.
I'm glad that he started.
And it's like, he just had something, he had a vision, and he's like, I want to do this. And he's not going to wait for people to get together and have the right schedule. And
I'm glad.
That's the hard part about making a band with multiple people is it's like, okay, if you got a drummer, a bass player, a guitar player, and a singer, those guys all have separate schedules. You have to all coordinate and then put together not only a rehearsal schedule, but also a gig schedule. Like not everybody has Friday nights off or Saturday nights off.
Exactly.
So, you got to coordinate with that. And I feel like Reagan kind of said, nah, forget all that. Let me just put this all together myself. He did the drums, the bass, the guitar, everything all by himself.
I think the first time that I heard any of his music was back in 2015 when he was uploading stuff to, like, YouTube.
Yeah.
Just, like, videos and stuff. And I have been following since then, and, like, dude, he's been just, like, steamrolling.
Yeah.
And then you hit this phase of, like, quarantine and stuff, and then everybody realized that, like, everything can be done remotely. Like, we don't all have to meet up in a studio together.
Yeah.
Like, we can just send each other files and just tear stuff apart and put our own little spin on it. And that's kind of what happened with this track. And I'm really glad it did, because it's
Tommy.
Definitely one of my favorites.
I don't even know what he's saying.
He's talking about Reagan, like Ronald Reagan. Like,
shut up.
Like, I'm not even going to entertain the comment. We're not even going to go there. Like, no, we're talking about Reagan Brooks, local singer, or what? No, he's not a singer. He's just a songwriter.
He is a singer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, on that track, there are Reagan vocals.
What?
He's been doing a lot of vocals lately, and they're really good.
Okay, so I got to listen to this.
Yeah,
sure.
He needs to update his Spotify bio, because it says instrumental group. And there's been a handful of songs that have vocals on it now, so I'm going to call you out on that.
So that band itself has taken on many different forms as well, right?
I don't quote me on this, but I think it started as just him.
Yes, it did.
100%.
I remember that, for sure. He did the drum track, the bass, the guitar, everything by himself.
And then there was that one show that I saw.
That's why I asked, because I saw that they did a show as a band where they actually had a full band.
I was talking about the festival where it was just him and I think Brandon Miller.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where it was just a 2-piece.
Yeah, they did that at the Music and Art Festival in 2017. That was awesome.
And now they've actually got a full-fledged band, and I saw them at a house show. I saw all the members at a house show, and I think it's solid.
That's cool.
Solid lineup.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like if I'm a music fan in this area, the bar scene is not really where it's at. I feel like a lot of the live music in this area in the bars is cover music. It's like bands playing other people's music. You're not going to hear a lot of originality. But then you see this scene. That's what I'm about to get to.
Yeah.
I'm about to transition to that. Because, like, you think Tiffin, Ohio, this little rural town, this little nothing, you know, like, there's not really much of a music scene here. But then these little, like, undertones, these little, like, underbellies of music kind of, like, just pop up out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, there's a metal show with, like, 20 bands on the poster. And you're like, where are all these bands? Where are they coming from?
When
Some
all
of
the
these
college
people put
kids are at
together
home.
shows, and it's crazy. They'll draw bands from Chicago and Cleveland,
Yeah.
and they'll bring bands up from Columbus, and it's like, oh, we just want gas money. We just want to crash on somebody's couch. It's cool, you know. They're bringing in all these killer bands just to play with, like, Dissected, who is like, oh my, those dudes are killing it right now.
Kill it every time.
And I mean, there's all kinds of different music in this area that I feel like just doesn't get the appreciation that it deserves, because there's so much original content when it comes to music in this area.
There's so much to pick from.
Well, yeah, there
So
really
much.
is.
Absolutely. And I've got playlists on Spotify, just a heads up for everybody.
This is the guy.
Tim Matthews on Spotify. I've got all local artists
Go find
on a
it.
single Spotify playlist.
All the Tiffin, Ohio artists.
Totally worth it.
Right there.
Telling you.
It's all at your fingertips.
I
mean,
mostly navigate Spotify.
Yeah?
They have a real easy system for like checking up on your stats and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I really appreciate that.
Well, you know what else you can find on Spotify? Heart of Ohio Sports.
Absolutely. Check it out.
All of our podcasts, up to date,
Buy some merch.
including yesterday's show, the Over Under podcast. That's right.
Yeah, boy.
Air horn. It's now going to become a permanent fixture on the show for now.
I love it.
From now on.
Permanent for now.
Permanent for now. But
Permanent
from
for
now.
now.
Is a house show different than a live show, or is it literally in a house? Well, I mean, a house show is in a house.
Absolutely in a house. It's crazy.
But it's still a live show.
Sometimes you wonder if like the foundation's going to hold up in the house.
I tell you, dude, some of the best shows that I've ever been to have been house shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Because everybody connects.
Oh, dude, we went to a show 2013, I think. It was in Cincinnati. It was at this place called the Bike House. And it was literally an old warehouse that somebody had converted into a punk flop house.
Nice.
And
that's awesome.
You walk through, it was like a long hallway, and then there's like a stairway that went up, and then there's like an apartment. It's just this huge, long, sprawling apartment.
That's cool.
And there was a big open area where they had the bands. And that's where I got introduced to Two Hand Fools. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They're phenomenal, awesome band. That were like, that's the one that really blew my mind that night, because I was like, whoa.
Like I said, this is how you learn, you share, and connect with music.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
great.
house shows are awesome. I feel like it's just the most unique environment, because we came there to see a band, and we discovered two other bands, and we got to actually hang out with the people in those bands. They were jamming, and then they came out and partied with us in the crowd, and then they were sweating all over everyone and singing the songs with the last band. So it's like, house shows are a completely different vibe than a concert.
Yeah, the last house show I went to was Open Wound Dissected, and the boys killed it. And that's the thing, dude. Like, with house shows, there's no, like, certain limit on how many artists there can be. Like, you feel like you have to have, like, a lineup, like a big lineup. At a house show, you don't. Like,
there should be a limit on age of houses, though, because if the house is over 100 years old, you probably shouldn't be doing a house show there.
Yeah.
Just saying. Because, like, if you have more than, like, 50 people on a floor at one time.
Make sure there's no cracks in the foundation. For sure.
Just throwing that out there. I mean, you don't want grandma to come home to what happened to my living room floor? It's in the basement.
And at that house show, there was like literally the perfect number of people. There were people filling like the hallway and the door. There were people filling the kitchen, and then there was the like the main area, which was the if you don't want hit, stay out of the way area.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing about those kind of shows.
Like,
there's an area that you just do not stand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless you want to be in that area and you want to get hit or hit someone, you know, like.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're purposefully trying to hit. Well, maybe they are. But I mean, even if they are, they're not trying to hurt someone really. Well, maybe they are. But either way, it's all in good fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Like someone's going to get hurt.
Somebody's getting hurt.
That's the thing.
You might get kicked in the jaw.
We have a festival dedicated to somebody getting kicked in the head. Kicked in the Head Fest.
See?
It's a local festival that I think it's still going on every year. Yeah.
Remember when Fruity got beat up at Greg's house show? What was this, Greg? What happened there?
Wait.
We need a story time.
Okay.
Story time.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Greggy.
I feel like there's about to be some tea spilled all over the fucking carpet.
Tea time.
It ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing that people haven't already known about. It's been a long time. A long time ago, when we were moving out of my mom's old house, and like they were selling it, the bank was selling or something. So we threw one last shindig in there, just a hell of a party. And I mean, dude, I'm not even kidding. Like, you see the parties in the movies where like the house is packed, shoulder to shoulder, people everywhere.
Like Project X.
Yeah, that's what this was like. There was probably at least 50 people in my house that night, dude. We didn't even have electricity. They shut the power off, so I had to borrow a generator, and we were just running that on the porch all night. All night long, bro. We had, like, I'm pretty sure...
This sounds like a great party right now.
I think Kilgore was playing some music, DJ Steak Knife.
DJ Steak Knife. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we're just having
that
a good
boy
time.
needs more credit than he gets.
Dude, he needs to make more music.
Ridiculous sounding music, and I love it.
But
I feel like more people need to tell him how good his music is, so he makes more of it.
Dude, absolutely.
Am I right?
Yeah,
dude, he kills it.
Yeah, 100%.
I remember. I still remember. All right, not to interrupt your story, Greg. I'll let you finish just a second. But I still remember when he played the set at the Music and Art Festival. It was probably the biggest pop I've ever heard from anybody at the Music and Art Festival. But go ahead, continue, Greg.
And you know, with that being that many people there, obviously you're bound to run into some people that don't like each other, have an issue with each other, something like that.
Happens.
Fruity had dated a dude's sister, and there was bad blood there, blah, blah, blah. People were running their mouths, and dude got punched in the face and shit his pants. In my backyard.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, that was the biggest twist that I've ever heard.
Wait a second. Wait. Go back. Rewind.
And then they were all naked. Like, that is the only way that could have gotten any worse.
Right?
No, you know, got punched, shit his pants, left the shitty drawers in my backyard.
Well,
but you know, it made for a great story. Everybody was talking about that one for a while.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
That's why Tommy's like, house show. The first thing I think about a house show is dude shitting his pants.
That's what we call a
I've never seen a bigger collection of
classic.
smells and bad tattoos.
Yeah, but that was before the guests got there. That was just me and Tommy.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, dude, that is gold.
But no, like,
Whoa.
So house shows are a blast.
Oh, absolutely. For sure.
Yeah.
When's the next one?
I have no idea.
Somebody needs to make one. Come on. I want to go to a house show. It's been years since I've been to a house show.
I know the guys that would set one up, but then I'm obligated to do our first show.
There you go.
Your
Sounds like we just set up the first Heart of Ohio Sports house show.
You haven't done a show yet.
Whose house show? Whose house show? Let's go.
Who's in the house?
Who's in the house?
Is this the house?
No, this is not the house. This is definitely not the house.
Why not? We could go up on the roof out back, set it up like a stage, just play to the backyard.
I think we'd have to invite the neighbors at least. Like at the very least, we'd have to say, hey, guys, I know you hear us down here yelling at the TV a lot, but you'll come down and party with us?
Do a show in the backyard.
Backyard show.
Hey, if it's warm, we could totally do that.
As long as nobody complains.
I don't know.
That could be a thing.
I mean, we're just kind of snowballing here, but we could definitely make that actually happen.
Yeah, I think that could definitely be a thing. Anybody want to volunteer their house? Huh?
Anybody got a house?
Anybody got a house?
That will hold.
We got a show.
Approximately.
If you got a house, we got a show.
At least 40 to 50 large, smelly, tattooed men.
Oh, there's going to be a lot more than 40 to 50. If we get involved with this, there's going to be, it'll be a party.
No one's gonna volunteer their house if we keep upping the numbers.
Are we going to up the ante here? That's the problem. Like,
maybe be like 5 guys there.
There's got to be somebody out there with like a farmhouse that's like, hey, boys, come on out here. Let's make some sausage, biscuits, and gravy. Come on.
5 guys, maybe a dog.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe a dog.
But no, so you got this project going on with West Gibson. You got Bad Luck. You've got a couple other things too, right?
Yeah, you've got bad luck.
You got some bad luck. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's why we're called Bad Luck. But no, the West Gibson project is definitely still a Bad Luck project. I want my primary focus to be Bad Luck. I want everything to focus around that because, like, making music alone is fun, but making music with the boys,
No other feeling.
Absolutely.
No other feeling.
Yeah.
So
824 is
I was just about to ask you about what is 824. So it's ATE:24, right?
824, yes. It's a lot of things. It was my grandpa's birthday. It was also the time that my grandpa passed away. And we've also got a couple of other birthdays in the family that are 824.
So it's very symbolic for you.
And do you ever have those moments where you look at a clock or like, and it's always a certain time?
Yes.
Like that mine would be 824. And then like you always see it on like at work, I'll see it on product. I'll see like 0824, stuff like that on just like everything.
Tommy said, "Who named you, Elon Musk?"
My granddaddy named me.
Tommy's like, "I'm not listening to what you're actually saying. I'm just talking shit."
No, I appreciate that about him.
Yeah, Tommy just is here for the comic relief.
He spices up the conversation a little bit. But yeah,
Balance.
The name's got a really good meaning.
Cracking a crispy boy in there, Greggy?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
So the official way that like Bad Luck got their name was we started the music thing. It was in talks in probably about the summer of like 2018. And then it was just kind of like always a joke, like, ha, let's start making music. And I was just like, ha. I was like, really, it always has kind of been a dream of mine. I was like,
just got bad luck with it, though.
Yeah. No, the Bad Luck hit when we actually started making music. We decided in like December of 2019 to start thinking things through and being like, all right, how are we going to do this?
Right.
Like, we realistically have no equipment. We have phones. So 2020 rolls around. Pandemic hits. Shit. We're all locked inside. What are we going to do?
Figure out a way.
I was like, this is bad luck. So this is bad luck. We're stuck inside.
That just wrote itself.
So we download this app on our phone called BandLab, which gives you a bunch of free loops and stuff like that. And you can just like, it's like pads. You just touch it, turn it on, touch it again to turn it off. And you can just like make your own mixes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's what our original beats were. Like they were made on phones.
That's
like,
awesome.
Completely. And then to record, we plugged a gaming headset in, like an Astro A10s, I think. We just plugged in a pair of Astros, flipped that mic down, don't mute yourself. Then we just recorded that.
Don't mute yourself.
Don't mute yourself. It doesn't work. We've had a couple takes where it was muted. It just.
I feel like that needs to be a shirt from you guys.
Don't mute yourself.
It's like symbolic, man. It's like telling you,
Bad luck. Don't mute yourself.
That's actually
in today's
pretty
society,
damn catchy, honestly.
It's like give yourself a voice, dude.
Exactly.
Don't mute yourself.
Don't mute yourself.
That's good. I like that. That's a new song for sure.
I'm trademarking it right now.
Hey,
Don't
hold up.
I just took it. I own it. I made it all up myself. Thank you.
The DAW that I use, FL Studio, is 100% the way to go for like when it comes to beat making. There's just like so many sounds, and it's so versatile with the amount of plugins that work with it, the amount of samples that work with it. When it comes to vocals, though, Logic.
Yeah?
Logic is absolutely the way to go. So when you're recording vocals in Logic, it'll record one bar, and it has like a collapsible thing where it'll do like a loop record to where you can just record. All right, it's recording again, the second one, recording the third one. And then you can click the top bar, and it just brings it all up into one bar. And if you want to work on that later, you just click on it, and it brings down like a little. It's so good. FL, like I said, great for recording instruments, great for...
Now, Logic is an Apple program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I have Logic Pro X.
My brother does all of our vocal production at this point.
Yeah, that's cool.
I have, I personally on my laptop have FL. I don't want to switch to Apple.
Yeah?
I've just always been in my way.
I've been an Apple whore for like 10 years now.
That's the problem.
The only reason why is because their phones last forever. Like, just real quick story about why I switched. Like, I went from 1 year, I went through 4 different Android phones to then The next phone I bought was an iPhone, and that iPhone lasted me 4 years.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, why the hell would I ever buy a different kind of phone? This has worked fine for me. And it's like, okay, well, I can't customize a bunch of shit, like, or I can't have a memory card. Big deal. Like,
all the stuff.
None of that shit really matters to me. I just need it to work. And that's the one thing that used to bug the shit out of me about Android. I know they've gotten a lot better. I know they're a lot better now. I know
they have their moments.
Pretty much neck and neck with Apple. But at the time that I switched, Android was shit.
Yeah.
And it would freeze up all the time. It would brick. You'd have to reset the phone, take the battery out, put it back in.
What was your first iPhone?
It was like the 4. I think the iPhone 4
like
was
a
my
solid
first
time to get in.
Yeah.
I feel like if there was a better time to get in, it was probably about like the iPhone 7.
I think I got a 5S or something like that was my first one, and I've been with them since then.
Yeah.
I bought a 6 and I loved it. Everything was like super easy and compatible with each other, but like I felt restricted by their app store. But at the same time, like I don't feel like I would use it for any of that kind of stuff anymore. I feel like I would just use it mainly for like my main focus is getting this music stuff going.
Yeah.
I don't really mess around with all that random stuff that I used to when I didn't have anything going on.
What's
like,
nice is when you have a bunch of different Apple shit and they all talk to each other. That's
what
really
I
cool
want.
Because
that's what I've been
like
thinking
it keeps
about.
telling me, like my computer every time I open it up is like, hey, do you want to use your iPhone as a webcam? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I can use my iPhone as a webcam? I can do
Wait, you can hook it up to like OBS and use it?
OBS will let me use it as a webcam.
You kidding me?
It's
Yes.
it's the computer itself.
But the computer itself
is saying,
is
hey, that
sourcing
your
it in.
iPhone can be a webcam. You want to bring it in as a webcam? Like
Yeah.
it keeps asking me like every day.
Wow.
Yes. But I also have purchased the app on
Don't talk me into it, boy.
because in the App Store they
Listen
have
on.
the app where you can purchase the OBS, where you can use your phone or your iPad as like a remote extension for OBS. So, yes, it's pretty
I
legit.
feel like I'm messing up right now.
I mean, there's a lot of different things that
sleeping.
we're able to do that I am very happy with. And I ask, certain people that are like, well, why are you streaming with Apple stuff? And it's like, with the M1 chip, it's just as good as just about anything else out there.
Yeah, it's true.
Like everything that we stream with, it literally is just as good as anything that you can get on the market, except for the really high end stuff, which I'm not trying to wait 6 months for a microprocessor. Like, I don't care.
You know what my favorite thing about this conversation is? At the right before we started this podcast, we were talking about how you were going to put a sticker over the Apple logo on your laptop, so that way you weren't
And
getting
now we're shilling for Apple for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. But anyways, well, let's get back to music. Let's talk about music real quick.
Tommy's calling you out. He said he wants a live performance right now.
Live rounds.
Well, he was saying here up here a little bit. He says, live performance, cue it up. 824, 824.
Man, Tommy's my biggest hype man in the world right now.
Tommy's
Hey.
everybody's biggest hype man.
I only got one thing to say, Timmy.
What's up?
Don't mute yourself.
Don't mute
Don't
yourself.
mute yourself. Use your voice.
Push your limits.
Absolutely. Don't mute yourself.
Damn it, Greg, stop.
All right, we're going off the rails. This is officially.
Hey, it's a great podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
No,
think it's started out pretty good.
the fun podcast.
We do need to. I want to get to this interview with Cody Dull.
Yeah.
It's past now the 8 o'clock hour.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's 8:06 now.
Sheesh.
Yeah. So I'd like to come back with you, have a little segment afterwards, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's
Is that
fine.
cool?
Yeah.
But I do want to talk a little bit more music and like music in the area and how we can kind of maybe help some of the musicians in this area.
Yeah, for
Is that
sure.
cool?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, let's step aside real quick. Let's do this interview. We're going to send it to yesterday. We're going to go back in time as I sat down with Keeping It Geekly's Cody Dull. Yesterday here in studio, we talked a little bit about video games. Step aside for that segment. We'll be right back on Mullin It Over here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Hey, how's it going, guys? Right now, I'm sitting here live in the studio. It's Wednesday, but you're watching this on Thursday, and we are sitting here talking about video games, right?
Yeah, video games, comic books.
Comic books. This is
everything
my
in
buddy
between.
Cody Dull. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
go
Cody
low.
from Keeping It Geekly, bringing the latest and the greatest from comic books, video games, and everything in between from the geek culture.
Nice. So, Cody, I've been wanting to get you on for a while, doing a little interview because
Yeah.
I feel like you and I started up the streaming thing right around the same time, and we kind of both had. Obviously, we got separate paths because you got the video game community and we got the sports community. But I feel like our paths have kind of intertwined quite a few times because it's streaming. We're streaming what we're doing. We're live streaming to our audiences. So I really have wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit about just the process and like how you got involved with it. Like what got you started with, I mean, first you started with what, Job for Cody?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a video game channel?
Yeah, Twitch streaming, basically I used to do video game reviews for online publications, and I had a hard time kind of remembering the entire game. I wanted a way to kind of watch some of my gameplay, so that way, you know, when I'm not experiencing a good part of the game, I kind of watch it again and then that, you know, take notes from it. My mom, surprisingly, out of everybody, was watching my Twitch streams. And at the time, she was living in Michigan, so it was kind of like our way of staying connected.
That's cool.
And it kind of just one thing led to another, and then I was streaming in front of like 20, 30 people, you know, 50 at a time, and it just developed into a passion, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So, like, that's kind of what started it, is the passion for video games. You obviously have always had a passion for video games, right? What's kind of the video games that you really get into?
Oh man, the kind that make you want to break your controller. Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring's a good one. I've been rocking God of War Ragnarok. That one's been phenomenal. Love that game. Just finished up Pokemon Scarlet too, so really, really enjoying. You know, a lot of the AAA titles have been dropping.
Sweet. So.
Go
ahead.
So I got to be honest with you, Cody. I haven't watched any of your playthroughs of God of War yet because I don't want it spoiled for me yet.
Dude, it is so good. Holy crap. I won't spoil anything, but like the first like 15 minutes, you're just left like, what is going on?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Well, and all of those games are like a movie, so I can only imagine what this one's like. This is like the first one on PS5, right?
Well, you could play it on PS4, but I see all the memes. It's like the cockroaches in your PS4 when you're booting up Ragnarok. It's like a big fire explosion.
No.
But it is
awesome.
it is graphically gorgeous. Like I am surprised that in what was it? A Horizon Forbidden West. Like the graphics were just so like mesmerizing. It's like, at what point are we gonna be, you know, like with games, like the graphics get so good to a point where we're not gonna be satisfied. You know what I mean? And it just feels like we're reaching that point because like every game is like just topping it time and time again.
Oh, for sure. I remember, I mean, I'm going to age myself pretty good here, but I remember booting up Ocarina of Time for the first time and going, I don't know how they can get any better than this.
Oh, my God.
Like, this is just amazing.
Oh,
how
my
can they
God.
get any better than this?
Or WCW backstage.
Oh, man. Or like Revenge. Like,
it's like, dude, these look realistic. And you go back, it's like, man, those look like Lego dudes. Like,
but yeah, they've come a long way. And I mean, you've come a long way too, man. I mean, you started out with the video game thing, and now you're doing what, Keeping It Geekly is what it's called?
So Keeping It Geekly is my podcast. It was born on Job for Cody. We do a lot of indie comic and indie game interviews. Mostly, I'm trying to dive into more of covering some of the geek culture news too. But the interviewing it's taken off, and it's like one of those things like where something takes off, you kind of just like grab it and just run with it. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to transition back into the other content, but I mean, we've done some pretty big ones. Like we were talking earlier, Paul Cornell of Doctor Who, that like blew my mind. I'm like, at no point did I ever think I'd be doing this, like talking to Paul Cornell about aliens. I'm like, man, what is going on right now?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But like comic books, you know, it goes hand in hand with video games, and like getting into that, just the creative universe and just seeing how these are brought to life and just everything in between is just, it motivates me. You know what I mean? I love learning about it. And I'm in the process of starting to write my own comic book, you know? So it's like one of those things, like I've done 240 interviews, and like that is like the perfect template for me to look, reflect, and like build off of to write my own, you know?
Oh, for sure. Now you've kind of picked the brains of all of the creative masters that you have come to, you know, admire throughout the process. I mean, you doing these interviews on a weekly basis, you kind of build your, you know, your order of, all right, this is the person I want to interview next. This is who I want to try to interview next. Now, you have your, you know, list of top people in your categories. Like, have you approached that top 10 list yet? Or are you
So like with interviewing, when I first started doing it, excuse me, it was right around the time I was kind of like getting burnt out from Twitch streaming, and I was looking for other means of content. And it was just one of those things where I interviewed one person in November. He said I was a natural at it. I was like, okay, cool, I'll try to do more. And no one bit for months. Like I didn't get another interview until February. And that's crazy to think because like after February, I was like so booked. You had to book me a month and a half in advance to get on my show.
That's crazy.
It was wild. Like today, I was like, hey man, like we were trying to figure it out. I'm like, well, this is what my schedule looks like. You know, I want to do this. But I'm like interviews the next like 4 days in a row, and I was happy we made it. But man, it almost becomes like addicting, you know. And
for sure,
I haven't reached. I guess I haven't really considered like creating like a list. I know there's people that I've wanted to talk to, but like I've been so focused on like talking to the little guys because like for me, the little guys don't get enough spotlight. They don't get enough focus.
Yeah.
And when you throw them that bone, you can really tell that they appreciate it, they love it, and in return, they usually like show you that love back. You know, they'll support you. They'll like your tweets, like your social media stuff. So for me, most of those interviews have been like people who've just been started out creating comics, you know, people who are looking for anyone who will throw them a bone. And to me, like, I don't care if you have 1 follower or 100, like if you're trying to create a book, like you have a voice and that deserves to be heard. So
that's awesome.
That's been like my whole thing from the start. And like, so, you know, yeah, it's cool. I've interviewed Paul Cornell or Melissa Flores. She's part of the Power Rangers universe, like for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that was insane. And she casually just dropped that during the interview. I'm like, oh my God, Power Rangers? Like, to me, those interviews are just as important as interviewing someone who's like, this is their first time, they're really nervous, but they have a book they just came out. That's just as important for me because like, you know, this is a moment we're experiencing together and like that voice is just as important as that other one, you know?
Oh, for sure. So, I mean, you talked about starting your own comic book. You starting to kind of get into that process. What's that like? I mean, how do you even start writing a comic book? What's the first step if you want to get into this?
I haven't had even time to really do it yet, but my biggest thing is
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Studying the medium. So I've over the months have been collecting books. You know, I take advice. So like the best of the best books that these creators have been reading themselves, like I buy and I have them collected, and I'm just waiting for the moment to crack them open because for me, learning like the rules, learning what rules you can break, learning what rules you can bend, you know, is just as important as how good the writing is. Like, you know, the way you implement your writing, the way you implement your story, your page turns. There's so much that goes into creating a comic book outside of just the drawings and the script. And, you know, a lot of it, honestly, is capital. You know, a comic book isn't cheap. I think on average, it's like $5,000, $6,000 to get it like printed.
Wow. And how many copies are you talking about when you get printed?
I forgot the estimate, a couple hundred.
Yeah,
you know?
see, that's crazy. And there's so much that goes into it with the graphics and the layout and the pages and binding it and all that stuff. I mean, that's a lot of there's a lot of processes involved. And it's not like there's one place that does all of that. You have to get it done at different places.
Well, the beauty of it is there you have all these crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter, Crowdfunder, Zoop, and I've had the chance to interview all of them. So I had the head honcho from Kickstarter on my show talking about, she was the head honcho for comic outreach and publishing. I think is her, I might have butchered that title, but she was on my show and we were talking about that, and I'm like in the back of my head like, holy fucking crap, like this is actually happening. This is legit, right? Like it's like you almost don't realize like when your stuff's legit until like you're doing it and people are like, hey, I can't believe you're doing this, you know?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I've been there a few times, you know, over the last few months doing what we've been doing with the sports broadcasting and stuff. You get kind of that moment where you're like, yeah, we are kind of doing something pretty cool here, aren't we? You know, like you think about it, it's like we're trailblazers, you know, like we're pioneers.
Yeah,
and like it's when you are, you know, kind of blazing your own path in the industry, you don't really get a chance to really look back very often. You know, you don't get a chance to look upon what you've accomplished. And every once in a while, when somebody kind of says something or opens your eyes to it, you're like, yeah, you know what? Wow.
Yeah, like, I mean, what you do is kind of like niche, right? There's not a lot of people doing what you're doing in the area. And same for me. So like a thing for us too is it's hard to gauge our success because we don't have anyone to really build off of.
Yeah.
Because there's no one else really doing it. I mean, and you know, maybe in Tiffin, I might not be like super famous with Keeping It Geekly, but there's a whole like community like on Twitter who are like, dude, Keeping It Geekly is the man. And it's like, that is like what gets me up in the morning. You know what I mean?
That's
like
cool.
Some days you're sick, some days you're tired, and you're like, dude, I don't know. And it's like, no, there's people out there who want this content, and I'm the only one who could do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you don't keep it going, who's going to?
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So, all right. So you got into this kind of as a passion project. Now it's become kind of a job for you now.
Yeah.
Right? You're doing this every day. You have weekly interviews, daily interviews almost, right? So, I mean, what's that like? How do you balance that? I mean, you're a dad. You have a couple kids.
Yeah, 3.
2 boys and a daughter.
Yep.
You have a job outside of this. So how do you kind of balance all of this?
So I use an app called Calendly.
Look, you giving credit to an app.
I know.
That's how he balances everything.
Well, so it's so important though, because like this app I'm able to map out my availability. So for instance, like I was doing interviews every single day. That was a nightmare. But now that I'm only doing it a couple of days out of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, people can go onto this app. They book whatever date they want to, whatever time frame from 11 a.m. to 2. So that way I have enough time, to go to work. It schedules my availability around my children. So I'm never interviewing when I have them because like I don't want to do that. And most importantly, it gives them my availability in their time zone. So I'm interviewing people across the world. It's not just like in Ohio. Like these people are from Saudi Arabia, Russia, everywhere, and like Britain. And like this puts it in their time frame. So, that's the easiest. It was such a nightmare in the beginning trying to, like interview, like, let's say it was you and you're from a different time zone. Okay, well, this is my availability in yours. But then I have other people responding their availability. And it's like, this app just eliminates all of that. And for $16 a month, like the easiest dollar I ever spent in my entire life,
You're welcome for the free advertising. What's the app called again?
Calendly.
There you go.
But like, cause dude, like this app, like, so you would go to book, all right? My first question is like, what's your name? What's, your role in the comic? And next question, summary of comic. Next question, social media handles you want blasted. Next question, what questions would you like me to ask? Or what topics would you like to? So it does all this groundwork for me. I just get that. I'm like, okay, I set up the YouTube live stream and I'm ready to go. I always ask for 3 to 5 pages. They usually send me a PDF of the entire comic.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm reading comics like every single day.
That's awesome. So I mean, you're working, but you're really not.
Yeah,
you're doing what you love to do.
So last night,
when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, right?
Dude, last night, I interviewed Benjamin Scheiper. He has a book coming out on Dark Horse Comics, called Joe, Death, and the Graven Image. $20. He gave it to me for free. 150 pages. I read, and I tried to read the material right before the interview, so I read like 50 pages of it. But dude, phenomenal. Phenomenal.
That's
and like.
Cool.
When you get the sample of the product, it's just like icing on the cake.
Oh, for sure. And that's we're trying to find those partnership deals with what we're doing here. Mullin It Over, bringing that show back. I kind of want to delve into some food topics and some, video game topics, and we'll try to see if we can get some partnerships involved. I think one partnership that I wanted to kind of extend the olive branches to you with this, segment, maybe we can do this as maybe not a weekly thing, but at least a monthly thing where I have you come on, we interview each other, maybe you interview me, I interview you, but we just kind of keep this as a video game or comic book segment.
Oh man, there's so many games coming out. We got the Callisto Protocol coming out December 2nd.
That's cool.
Oh my God, that's from the creators of Dead Space. It's going to be phenomenal.
Oh man, I miss Dead Space. Like PS3 was the last iteration we had of Dead Space.
Dead Space 3.
So I mean, it's been a while, and I that was one of my favorite franchises. But no, once again, what all platforms can everybody find you on?
So I mean, just Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube for Job for Cody. Job _4 FOR_A_Cody, and then Keeping It Geekly. Any platform you can think of. I'm on Anchor. I'm on Spotify. All major podcast platforms. All major like social media platforms, and I usually live stream on every single one of them.
And about what time usually can somebody find the live stream? Do you just record the interviews from 11 to 2 and then you live stream them later, or are they all live?
Everything's done live.
Nice.
Unless there's like Paul Cornell, for instance, I had OBS issues. We were dropping frames, and it was dude, the hardest cringe ever. Like dropping frames. I'm like, sir, sorry, like we're probably gonna have to record this. He was really chill about it, but like for anything to go wrong, that was the interview. You know what I mean? And
that's horrible.
Yeah, but you just gotta take it.
Gotta go with the flow.
Yeah, you gotta go with the flow, man. But yeah,
well, it's like when we oh my God, Craig. Remember when we went to that state semifinal baseball game and we were doing a delayed broadcast, and I have to hit the record button on OBS to restart the recording, and I hit it, and then I hit it again because we hadn't had everything set up yet, and then I hit a different button. I hit the buffer button instead of the record button. So the first 4 innings of the game never got recorded.
I had
it wasn't until midway through the 4th inning when we did a graphic, and I was like, why don't I see the streaming lit up?
Oh no.
And it was like my heart just dropped. And it was like, of all games for this to happen, this is the game. It's a state semifinal playoff game. You know, it's like, man, we're at Akron Rubber Duck Stadium right now, and this is going to happen to us right now. It's
the stuff that's got all the eyes on it that people want to see.
Exactly.
That's
like
when you
you're
have the
saying,
problems.
you're interviewing the guy from Doctor Who, and things happen. You just got to roll with the punches.
Roll with them. And I think, going forward, we can get some rolling on with some video games, man.
I like it. All right. So once again, Keeping It Geekly, you can find it on any platform, any social media platform. Cody, I really want to thank you once again for coming on with me.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And I hope everyone watching has an awesome Thursday night. But most importantly, guys, keep it geekly.
There you go. All right. Once again, we're going to get back to Mullin It Over here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks,
Perfect, man.
And we're back.
Hey.
That was a great interview. Honestly, Cody's one of my favorite interviews just because he's already, he's so ingrained in the process. He's got so much experience. Over 240 interviews under his belt now.
Yeah, for sure.
So the chemistry was there because it was just natural for him. So I honestly was just letting him kind of run with it. It was different. Most of the time I feel like I have to kind of fill the air or carry things sometimes with certain guests, but with Cody, it was kind of like he just ran with it.
And that's not even just a when the camera's on type thing.
Oh yeah.
He can carry that energy everywhere.
You want to talk about how much experience he has with podcasting? Did you see what he posted earlier today that his 2022 wrap up says he had about 11,000 minutes of podcasting?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Woo! That's crazy.
That's intense. That's crazy.
I love it.
I mean, he's been grinding is the word for it. Grinding is the best word I can use to describe what he's been doing over this last year with this.
The first streamer that I ever knew of in Tiffin, Ohio, one of the first guys to actually put themselves out there.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like when he did it, it gave a lot of people confidence that, hey, I can do it too. When people start seeing other people do things,
he helped me a lot.
Encourages people to want to do more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he helped us a lot. Honestly, when we first started out, I had no idea about OBS, and he kind of gave me a crash course on it. He came over to my apartment one time and kind of showed me the ropes on how everything works and gave me a crash course on it. And it was enough to where I could say, okay, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wasn't the best at it. We weren't the best at it at first, but we've learned a lot through the process. But I can credit Cody as one of the people that helped us get started. So
if you ever have a question, great guy to go to. He's usually got a good answer for it.
But once again, he does his interviews every week, Keeping It Geekly. You can find it on all the social media platforms. Give him a follow, folks. If you're watching this, give him a follow. We're going to try to make this like a weekly segment. Although I did notice, I do have to make just a slight announcement here that I'm an idiot. I put together the basketball schedule. Got that all put together, and I was really excited about that. And then I'm like, all right, so now that's done. I'm going to start doing Mullin It Over on Thursday nights.
Okay.
So this is our first Thursday night. I'm like, all right, Thursdays at 7.
Thursday. It is.
Well, next Thursday we have a game.
Shit.
At 7. And the following Thursday we have a game at 7. Who the hell puts these schedules together? Oh, yeah. Me. Yeah, so we will not be able to broadcast Mullin It Over and a game at the same time. It's just not going to happen. Thanks. So we'll figure out something. Maybe we'll do like a Friday broadcast or something if we don't have a game on Friday, or maybe a Saturday broadcast or something. Maybe we'll do something different those weeks that we can't do a Thursday broadcast. I still want to keep this a weekly thing, though. Yeah. I really do. And I want to try to keep this with Cody a weekly segment where we have him on, talk about video games or comic books or whatever.
That'd be really dope.
I'm not so much into the comic books as I am into video games. And honestly, I'm not into the video game culture as much as I just like video games. Like I'm a Mario gamer. Like I've always been a Nintendo guy since I was younger. You know, I grew up, that was the first thing I got was an NES.
Solid titles.
Speaking of which, how sweet was that trailer for Mario we watched?
Dude, that looks sick.
Oh,
did you watch the new trailer?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
yeah,
a lot of people are kind of just talking down Charlie Day as Luigi. I think it's great.
I'm not having any of that. You can just leave that at the door.
First off, he barely got to speak.
Yeah,
it's
I
Charlie
think
Day.
2 lines in the whole trailer. Stop.
That's going to be funny.
He's going to kill it. They've got so much star power in this movie.
Absolutely.
It's like, to me,
Chris Pratt.
It's probably one of the most anticipated movies that I've seen in a long time. For me.
I was gonna say, for me personally, yes.
I don't think it's as anticipated in the public sphere.
It's not getting the hype.
But for me, it's like, I cannot believe they're actually doing this the right way. They're doing it for us. Like, they're doing it for the fanboys.
Yeah.
Like, I've been a Mario guy my entire life.
Yeah, like just in that trailer alone, we saw how many things that we were like, oh, that's in there? Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh,
yes.
like it's like they know exactly what we want to see.
Can you spoil the trailer?
Well, and I think when we were...
That's why I was just like, should I even say anything?
I was literally about ready to say something. I was like,
it's a trailer.
It's a 2.5-minute trailer. Go watch it. Go watch it.
It's
Go
a trailer.
on YouTube, find the new Super Mario Bros. Movie trailer and watch it. Do yourself a favor. It's so
good.
much hype. If you're a Mario fan at all, if you ever even played a Mario game at all, go watch the trailer.
Yep.
It's going to hype you up for the new movie.
I think it's going to be fine.
I think it's going to be great. Honestly, I really do. They've got a lot of star power, a lot of things that seem like they're going to work with this movie.
Without spoiling anything, I'm going to say Peach kind of looks like a badass.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
well,
for
I mean, Super Mario Smash Bros.
Yeah.
She's badass in that game.
Yep, hitting people with skillets, dude.
I mean,
Turnips. That toad counter.
Well, and in Super Mario RPG, she's a healer,
I'm not going to lie. I need to play it. I was kind of waiting for him to just do like a remaster or something.
Bro.
Because
SNES, get you one. It's on there. It's on the actual. I didn't even need to mod it for that. That was already on there.
All right, I might
Super
have to
Mario
do that.
RPG.
I'm gonna be. I didn't think that'd be on there.
One of the best RPG games you'll ever play. Like at just a very pared down, simple level. There's not a bunch of complex levels to it. A bunch of different. It's just very simple. It's a very simplistic RPG. But I'm telling you, it hits on all the best elements. The gameplay's there. The storyline's there. It's really a great game.
Did you ever play like the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga for like the Game Boy Advance?
I did not, but everybody said it's a continuation of. Well, Paper Mario was a continuation of RPG.
Yeah, very
it's
similar.
Like how they tried to. Well, we can't do this because Square Enix holds the rights to it. So we now can do this, which is Paper Mario. We can do Mario and Luigi in time or whatever.
I will say those were some good games.
I got those for my kids. Now
hooked on them.
I honestly there was a point in time when I kind of went, all right, I'm just gonna get all my kids all this fun stuff that I want.
So if I ever want to,
get down on it, I'll have it. Well,
and now they know.
They just found out. They just like to play with all this stuff, and Dad never gets a chance to play with it. So that's how it is.
That's how it works.
But no, Greggy, that new Mario trailer was awesome.
Yeah, it looks good.
I'm hyped for this movie. Honestly, it's one of those. Yeah, I think it's one of those can't miss movies of next year. April, right? It's supposed to come out in April.
Yeah, I think that's what it said.
I'm here for it. Looks good.
I'm all about it. All about it. Did you hear me drinking? Yes. These great mics, I'm telling you. These mics are phenomenal. Now, we got us a new audio interface. We got us a Rodecaster Pro 2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So it is, if you've noticed an improvement in the audio quality, that's the biggest reason. That's the biggest thing we can give credit to.
And I'm also not sitting like at the 50-yard line away from the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That helps.
It does help.
But you guys sound really weird for some reason, though.
Wait. No. I knew you were going to do this. Bro, is that Bowser? Yeah, boy. All right. This is
just gone completely off the rails.
Wake up. It's 8:24.
You can't expect me to not play with the new toys when you talk about them.
Well,
yeah, right.
I mean, you know.
What else you got on that thing?
Let's see here.
We can turn into robots, yo, Daft Punk. Yeah. This is, well, and then you can be this. What is this? I don't even know what this is. This is a large robot. A large robot. Yes, large. The other one was a small robot.
No. You guys just sound so
silly. Okay, yeah, this has definitely gone off the rails.
Okay.
100%.
All right, folks, we'll try to bring this back around. And
So yeah, music. And
so
stuff.
yeah, I want to talk about music
All right,
before
me
we
too.
wrap this up.
I do music.
Tim makes music.
I do.
This is Tim Matthews, everyone. No.
Let's start from square one.
All right, so this project you got going on.
So why is your name 824?
It's like a boot loop.
Groundhog Day here.
Dude, 51st dates.
So let's talk about music a little bit before we wrap this up.
Okay.
You've got a lot of different things going on right now, but what's next? What's next for you?
What's next? Okay, so we got 3 more songs that are supposed to release between now and the end of the year. At the end of the year, we're going to have this big song. A lot of times we'll just write a song ever since we started this 2-week release thing. Every other week we release a track. It wasn't like that with this last release because we kind of missed our date, but we wanted to put more time and focus into our next songs instead of rushing them out
Right.
like we have been. Even though we're rushing them out, they're still really good and I'm really proud of them, but I'd like to have some time to sit on stuff and listen to it over and over again so that way we can tweak it if it needs tweaked. Well, this last track that we have for the end of the year, we actually have been sitting on for quite a while.
Yeah.
We made the beat probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, wrote to it a little bit. It's not completely finished yet, so we still have to record it yet, but we have 2 songs ready in the chamber, ready to just ship out there when their time is going.
Nice. He gone.
Ooh. But this last song, it's got a little bit of Drake in the beat. It's got a little bit of kind of like The Weeknd in it, parts of the instrumental. And then it's just got some hard cuts and stuff. It's really interesting.
The Weeknd. The Weekday was just on a little bit ago.
The Weekday, dude, that guy really just looked like a knockoff version of The Weeknd. That was crazy.
All right, but you got, so I feel like with this coming up, you said you got a big song coming up, right? This is the big one.
I'm hoping it's the big one, yeah.
Okay, so if that's the case, then maybe we need to have a house party for this big song.
Hey, if we can set
Debut
it
house
up,
party.
if we can figure it out, I'm down.
New Year's house party?
Wow, that's a good idea.
I throw it out there. I need somebody to volunteer a house, though, because we can't have it in studio. Sorry, it's not going to happen. So if anybody's got a big house, they want to volunteer,
Big house,
comment. Let us know.
safe house,
Yes, for sure.
sturdy.
You
House
have a
show.
big house and like to have fun. Get a hold of them.
There will be people doing cartwheels in your living room.
We need a house show for sure.
Somebody might do a front flip and potentially put a hole in a wall, but that happens.
Somebody might swan dive into a bathtub full of potato salad too. So
You might wake up in the morning and find somebody chilling in your fridge. It's the kind of thing that alive, but it happens.
He'll just be really cold.
It's very cold. Get that man a blanket. Off the rails again, dude. We cannot.
I was more so picturing somebody just passed out, hanging out in the fridge like they were trying to get some food.
Every time somebody says
Not
get that
there
man a
in the
blanket,
fridge.
No, they took the shelves out and literally got in there and shut the door.
every time somebody says get that man a blanket, all I think of is you staying over at your friend's house and they don't give you a blanket,
Dude.
and
Oh my
some of
God.
the stuff people be covering up with in some of the memes.
Dude, RIP to my friend Hoover. That was literally one of the longest running jokes I had with that guy.
I can't even tell you what comes to my mind when I think about get that man a blanket. So remind me after the show to tell you guys because I cannot tell you on the air.
Noted.
That's not an on the air story.
No,
huh?
not at all.
Okay, well here's the
It's
thing.
not a personal story. It's just we can't talk about this.
Can I talk about this real quick though? Okay, I've been kind of brainstorming an idea for our Patreon channel. I've been trying to think of how can we use Patreon? What about maybe an exclusive podcast where it's just we tell all these stories that we can't tell on the air on this podcast. This is the juicy stuff.
Yo,
This is where we can be real.
that could be a draw.
And we can get downright just raunchy with it. and we can keep it off of the Heart of Ohio Sports channel so our sponsors and advertisers don't be like, what in the hell kind of degenerates are we giving money to?
Until they donate to our Patreon and start watching it.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, that's their own free will. They want to donate to our Patreon. That's great. Awesome. We'd be totally on board with it.
That's how
we'll
you
watch some
find
fun
out.
content.
That's how you find out who your fun sponsors are.
Exactly. So I don't know. I feel like that's an idea that I had for Patreon. Maybe we make like a explicit podcast, and that's exclusive to just Patreon. You have to pay for that content. So just an idea I was kind of tossing around. I think that'd be a cool way to kind of let some of our wilder side hang out, I guess, some of our more raunchy side, I don't know about too raunchy.
Maybe have a few bevs.
I don't know if I should have Tommy on that show.
I am a wholesome.
Oh, wow.
I am a wholesome young man. I don't
Wholesome.
know what you're talking about.
I mean,
What is this raunchy?
maybe we could get a in-person reenactment of the Tommy Hall rant.
Oh my god! Get him drunk enough. I'm sure we can.
Oh,
Get some brown paper bags.
We need bevs.
We can reenact
I
it
think
all.
we could do this.
never.
Maybe we can get him to do a new rant.
God, I love that guy so much, dude.
Can we feed him a different topic?
Sure.
Sure.
First you take the beverage, then you feed it to the Tommy.
And then you get the TikTok reel.
Get him nice and drunk. Don't forget to drink.
Never.
Dude, that's one of my favorite things about the last podcast we did is the video that I made shot for shot of you guys quoting Tommy and then Tommy spitting it off.
Yes.
Dude, that was a 10 out of 10 moment. Wow.
I still think one of my most funny things that was kind of underrated was, remember, Nate, when I sent you guys that clip of the fans throwing stuff at Jimmy Haslam and he got hit by somebody in the crowd? And everybody's like, boo, and they're like panning the crowd. And then I clipped that video to show Tommy go, fuck you. When he was at the Browns game.
I remember that.
It was so awesome.
Oh, man, that's too good. That's way too damn good.
That is literally my favorite video. Dude, it's so good.
It's so funny because that's Brooke's dad. He's just like, fuck you. And just hangs up the phone.
he wasn't having it, bro.
What I want to see is what happened when the cameras went off.
Us cleaning up peanut shells off of Tommy's chest. Tommy wiping off all the peanut shells.
No, dude, what makes me mad is that Nate had one of the best interactions with some jerk-off Ravens fans.
God, bro.
at a Cleveland
Cousins
Browns
family
game.
Christmas.
And, like, I can't tell you any of the words that he said, and it drives me insane because I don't remember any of it, but I just remember that it was gold.
Oh, man,
Like,
it was
Nate
so
was just
good.
talking so much crap, and these people were like,
Because we were like stuck in traffic on our way out of this Ravens game, all right? And the Browns got their asses kicked in this game. And so we're already pissed off. And then we see Ravens fans tailgating in a parking lot that is like usually a Browns parking lot. These Ravens fans are just hanging out by their car.
We had the parking pass that I think we got from Tony or something like that, right? Like,
and this is a Browns
special
season ticket pass parking lot, and there's Ravens fans tailgating in there, and I'm like, go back to Baltimore. What the hell's wrong with you? Like, and I
just like overly excited.
couldn't even get your own damn team. You had to steal one. Oh, you lost your team, so you had to go steal one. Okay, great.
Personally holding these people in the
dude.
parking lot
I
accountable
hate
for what
Ravens,
happened.
and I hate the Ravens fans, and like anybody who's a Ravens fan in Ohio can just seriously suck it, like for real. If you thought that you were gonna follow the Browns to Baltimore and then just decided that that's your team now, and then when they come back to Cleveland, you're like, nah, that's not the Browns. These are the Browns. You can just go take that somewhere else and just like.
I mean, if you like
Pull your bottom lip over your head and swallow. Do the world a favor.
If you like the Ravens, you must like Art Modell, and he's a guy who can't even give you a signed helmet for a logo that he's going to use for his professional
you
football
can't
team.
trust.
What a piece of shit!
What a piece of shit! Art Modell is a piece of shit.
Yeah,
I
dude.
love how the Cleveland media has made it their like permanent goal to make sure that he never gets into the Hall of Fame.
Ugh.
Like every time his name is brought up to get him into the Hall of Fame, the Cleveland media is like, this guy is a douchebag. Don't ever let him in the Hall of Fame. And everybody's like, oh yeah, you're right. He is a douchebag. You should let him in there.
Like, yeah, no, you're
He ain't
right.
never done
I mean,
nothing.
think about it. He moved the Browns to Baltimore, and then before he died, he sold the damn team. He didn't even die as the owner of the team. He sold the team.
It's like you want to put him in the Hall of Fame for what?
Right. For what? You want to crown him? Then crown her ass. For what?
Rest in peace.
Piece of trash.
Trash.
Rest in peace.
Rest in power.
Dude.
Trash.
All I know is that where's he buried at, in Boston?
Oh no.
Or in Baltimore?
Baltimore?
Yeah. Baltimore better hope that the
Better be.
Cleveland Christmas cousins never show up in Baltimore.
They better have some good drainage around that grave.
Life goals. We're going to check that off the list.
And we're going to save
I bet
that.
his gravestone is going to have a yellow hue to it by about the time he's...
We're going to save that video for the Spicy podcast.
Actual footage.
No, we're going to do one of those dramatic reenactments like on like Ghost Hunter.
Dude, that's awesome.
No.
Yes.
No.
Think about how many cool videos we can make doing dramatic reenactments of stories.
No, Greg.
Oh, yeah. That's a great idea.
Yes. Or stories that,
Greg's wheels are turning already.
Happened, but we want to happen, so.
No. No, damn it.
No, that's how you're going to predict games from now on. You have to actually like get out onto the field and actually like pretend that you're the players, and
oh, for sure.
it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's totally what I'm
You heard it here
about.
first. Right in the dead of
Groundbreaking
December.
news here.
Right in the dead of December. Well, I can't wait to see you guys predict the Super Bowl.
You know what? That's the over-under guys. They're the predictors. I'm not a predictor guy. Damn,
Yeah, I can
Josh
see that.
Allen is just like, did you see him just straight jump into a pile of defenders? He was like he was jumping into a ball pit or something. Like, hey, woo! Like he wasn't even trying to hurdle guys. He's just like, I need these 2 extra yards here. Let me just, excuse me here. Let me just, I'll just take those. Thank you.
Give me that.
Look at that. I mean, he wasn't even trying to hurdle the guy. He's just like, I need those yards. Thank you. You
Is that a
can't
first
tackle
down?
me if I'm in the air.
It is first down. Cool. Can I just say how excited I am to watch Aaron eat the hot chip?
I think that is going to be even better content than Joey eating the hot chip.
I think that I
Did
don't
you
know.
see Joey last night in the makeup?
No.
You didn't see Joey in drag?
Can I get a
Well, he
picture of
wasn't
that,
in
Greg?
drag. He was in just makeup.
Greg, can I get that?
Yeah, give it a second.
I will say, I saw the Joey video, and it's going to be hard to beat. That was a good video.
I don't know. Honestly, I think Aaron is a little bit more intimidated about it than Joey was, because Joey was like, all right, let's do it. Come on, whatever.
See, that's how
And
I am, and that's why I'm like, I don't know.
I
if
feel
should
like
do that.
Aaron was like rooting for those dudes to make it so that he didn't have to do it. And you could see him on the show last night, like he was getting worried. The longer they took, because I guess it was like, what was the stipulation? Like, yeah, there's Joey in makeup right there. Yeah.
All right.
He took it like a champ too. The whole episode, dude. The whole episode.
Who did it to him? Who let him down?
It was Aaron's girlfriend, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, what team let him down? What caused this to
It
happen?
was the Colts. I
Yeah,
think.
Colts,
Losing
Steelers.
to the Steelers, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's a row. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't really root for the Steelers, can
But
you?
no, I feel like Aaron's gonna be it's gonna be rough for Aaron with that one chip. Yeah, I think it's gonna be even more. I think it's gonna be better content than Joey, because I feel like with Aaron, he's a little bit more animated, you know.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get pretty rowdy.
Hey, Greg, do you have a censor button on that? Like a long beep? Yeah, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that.
Man.
Oh man.
No, it's gonna be fun. Not
Yeah.
fun.
When are you
dudes.
coming on to do one? You know, we have the world's most sour candy here. You want to try one?
Yeah,
Let me grab one.
let's do it. Fuck me up. I need the censor button.
Here we go. So these are called Barnett's Mega Sour.
Is this dangerous?
These are from England.
Am I gonna
This
die?
is a
The Brits.
yes.
All right.
I mean, these are like
How many were in that bag when you bought it?
It was full.
Oh,
It was full.
okay.
You see the look on his face, Greg?
Dude,
He was like,
I barely licked it and then just threw it away. I wasn't
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. What got me was like it automatically made my face pucker without me even.
Man.
Yeah.
Dude,
I just heard you throw.
Yeah, dude,
So much saliva, dude.
so much.
It just like keeps producing saliva. It's like,
I flipped the fucking thing.
oh yeah.
Oh. I'm about it.
You're about it?
I want to get some and pass them out at work.
Yeah, these are, I had to order it on Amazon, or I don't even think I ordered it on Amazon. I think it was something else. But it took about 2 weeks to get here because they came from actual England. Like,
good.
They're actually.
Why did I think you told me you got those at Walmart?
No, I didn't get them at Walmart. I had to order them.
I could have sworn I thought he told me you got them at Walmart.
No, I didn't get them at Walmart.
Shh, don't.
I'm pretty sure I even told them that the other night, the one night on the podcast. I think you just got them at Walmart, guys.
No.
No, you can't say that, man. The people that are listening are gonna go buy them up. You guys gotta have stock.
It says. Oh no, never mind.
I want to share that picture of Joey.
Not
with
suitable
the,
for children under 8 years of age.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna share the picture of Joey with the world for everyone to see. I'm gonna put it on the screen behind you.
Yes.
Just so everybody knows what Timmy was.
Oh my
thinking.
god, dude.
Oh, hey there, Timmy. Hi, Timmy. How you doing? Good looking.
Hey, won't you come listen to my gambling podcast?
Listen to my gambling podcast.
Oh, Diggs with a touchdown.
No, but Joey and Aaron definitely have a really good chemistry. They're really good on the show together.
Dude, for sure. And I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I like working with them anyways, but I think that's one of the things that's kind of stood out to me, especially over these last few weeks, is the more they do it, the more they just gain a chemistry, and you see it. It permeates through the show, and it makes it better content. Like, it makes you want to watch longer. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes I'll tune into an interview between two people, and I'm like, all right, this is good. And then about a minute and a half later, I'm like, out of it, into something else. Mm-hmm. Attention span of a gnat. I'm sorry, I do have that sometimes. With their show, I will literally put it on and I'll just leave it play. I'll go out and do other stuff and leave it in the background because they literally have a great chemistry that makes you want to listen more.
Really easy listening.
For sure.
Yeah, and Dalton's done a good job of fitting in too.
Absolutely.
I was just about to mention him because
he comes in so smooth with the college football.
But no, he's done a great job with his basketball picks as well. Having him on, been kind of a breath of fresh air as well. I like their challenges that they're doing now, bringing a new element into the show. I think this is going to be something, it's just getting started. Like, I feel like this is going to be one of those shows that, especially here in a month, when gambling opens up to the state of Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're talking January 1st, it's legal. So it's a month from today.
Yeah.
It's legal.
I tell you, the other thing I like about it is you can't do that kind of podcast without doing your research and doing your homework.
Oh, for sure.
And all of them guys, we have a shared document where everybody every week goes through. Like I said, Dalton, man, he does. I mean, he's got all kinds of stuff going on. Like what teams are hot, what teams aren't hot, and why. Like reasonings and injury reports and all that stuff. I mean, like those guys come prepared for sure, and like that's what you need to do when you got a show like that.
Dalton is a numbers guy. I found that out. He's a finance guy, so he's a bean counter. Like I like to call finance guys, they're bean counters. They love numbers, and so when you start talking about compiling spreadsheets and all this difference, that doesn't surprise me at all with him. He's a whiz, right. So with and they've been like that since they started this show, Greg. I mean, you talked about it, the first show they did was kind of bare bones, but then you were pulling up stuff on the fly during the show, and that led them to say, oh, well, if you can put this stuff up, what if we just give you the content that we want ahead of time? Now they send you all the stuff a couple days ahead of time or a day ahead of time, and you upload it all into the show before the show starts. And it's really, it's taken another step forward. That show has really...
It's a great show.
It's evolved over the last couple of months, and it's now to the point where it's must watch, every week.
It's great content. Like you guys said, great chemistry between them, and then it's just nice to be able to add a little bit of visuals to that.
For sure.
Yeah. Give you something to see with your eyes when you're listening to these.
Absolutely. But this is, we're just getting started with Mullin It Over, getting it back in the saddle. I want to do different segments with this. What I really want to do is eventually down the line.
Oh, nobody told me about the inside.
Was that a tooth or was that the candy?
It's the inside of the candy. I forgot the inside sour too.
Oh yeah, it's got like a fizz
It's like
sour.
a pop rock.
Yeah, it's like a fizzy sour in the middle.
Whoa!
That's not as sour though, but it's pretty good.
It's just like it's more of a texture thing.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, pretty good.
Call me up.
Oh, what? That's a safety! 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 There's nobody there.
Ah!
Oh, they're gonna call that.
I'm being an asshole. I'm crunching into the mic. I'm sorry.
Oh, they're gonna call that.
Which is so funny. It's so funny. I can hear that.
Yeah.
Good mics.
But anyways, so
Push that to the side.
we'll talk real briefly before we get done here. I mean, I want to wrap things up. It's almost 9:00.
Absolutely.
What do you got? You talked about what you got going on next with this couple of songs you got kind of in the barrel, waiting to launch.
Yep.
Other than that, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing yourself?
Honestly, full focus on Bad Luck. After the end of the year, we're not going to be doing music for a little while. We're going to take some time to stock up on stuff and really start to think about what songs do we want to release.
Yeah.
Instead of just like putting ourselves on a strict schedule of just pop them off. So I want to take the early 2023 to promote what we have out. Because a song is new to anybody who hasn't heard it, even old songs. So we've got a catalog to promote.
Yeah.
We've got the means to promote it. The only thing we got to do is do it.
Yeah, didn't you have an album or something come out not long ago that was called The Lost Tapes or something like that?
Oh, The Lost Tapes? Oh, that was a fun one. So the story behind The Lost Tapes is...
story time.
Yeah. So back in 2021, we had a list of like 18 songs that were in the works. And this is like a perfect example of like you don't have to release every song that you make. We had like 18 songs in the work, and something happened to my hard drive to where I lost a good portion of most of those files. But a lot of them were really close to done. So we dropped them anyways. It's not work that we're proud of, but it is more stuff out there to show people.
Yeah.
It's like, so this is what it sounds like before it's completely finished. And like, I don't mind having that out there. It still sounds good.
Right.
It's just maybe not everything's completely lined up. So it's pretty much, consider it like a demo tape, almost like a B-sides.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was like our first actual drop of the year. And then after we put that out, it's like, okay, we can clear our heads of the old stuff. And it's crazy because on that, I think only 5 or 6 of the 18 songs actually made it onto there because we were just like, we're not going to release these other ones. So
Yeah.
they might come out someday. We might redo them someday because that's a big thing that we like doing is taking some of those songs, pulling from them, creating new beats, and just completely making a new song out of it. Our song, is it still called New Lens? So there's this weird thing that you do when you make music where you name a project file something, and then when the final product comes out, you might name it something else.
Right. It's like, well, it's taken a new shape over the course of the last however long it's taken to, produce this. So now I think it's going to be this instead of that.
Well, we have a bunch of songs out that were actually completely different sound.
Yeah.
And we just reworked them and put them out as what they are. But yeah, it's just going to be promotion next year and really just like trying to grow together with the rest of the music community.
Cool.
Because I'm going to be honest, I don't want to go up alone.
That's kind of what I was trying to transition into is like, how do you see yourself in the music community and how do you want to like help the music community?
I want to help people record someday. Like I want to actually run like a studio type deal, but Reagan's already got that under control right now with Lonely Wizard Recordings. He's got his own little recording thing going on, and he's actually been helping quite a few artists in the area, and I got to give him his flowers on that. So I'll probably just find my own way to fit into that niche without stepping on his toes any. Like, I might just do like someday on the side beat production, but really I just want to focus on like promoting us, while at the same time also extending our hand and promoting and mentioning like other people in our TikTok videos and stuff like that. Maybe start like a TikTok series that's about promoting other local bands, because I got to give flowers to Respect to Dissected, respect to Open Wound, respect to West Gibson, respect to Colin. Like, there's a list of Ohio artists that just go unrecognized. And I don't want just one single one of us to blow up. I want all of us to blow up.
Let's go up together.
Like, I realize how ridiculous that sounds, but the means are there to promote each other.
I think that's kind of the prevailing mindset now. It's like people don't want to just come up on their own. They want to bring people up with them. You know, they want to bring their friends or their people around them with them.
Not only is it hard to do it alone, but like it's lonely at the top.
Yeah.
And we all want to get to the top, but we don't want to do it alone.
Well, I will tell you this from experience, folks. If you're trying to start anything, get you a Greggy. All right.
Absolutely.
You cannot do it alone. What we're doing with this, it's not a I'm doing at all. So when you see me and you see me out, whatever. This isn't just my thing. This is our thing. Every time I mention this, it's us. It's we. It's never a me. And so I think what you're talking about is very true. I always talk about, like, if this ever hits it big, when we hit this big, you know, I'm going to take care of the people in this with us. You know, the people that started this with us, they're coming up with us. You know,
it's like when a family moves out into the country, and then like all their family starts to grow around that, and then it builds a village.
Yep.
Like I'm trying to build our village
for sure.
Like that's what my next year is going to be, is like to establish more connections, to establish more of a following.
Network.
Yeah.
Network, man.
Networking is going to be the main focus of 2023 for us. We're going to release music, obviously. We're not going to have the strict every other week schedule, but it's definitely going to be networking, working with other people. So, I mean, hey, if anybody's out there and wants to do like a collab or anything, first one's free.
Doors open.
If it's fun, I keep doing them for free.
Doors open.
Just saying.
So if anybody wants to get a hold of you, Tim, how would they reach out to you if they want to do some kind of work together? Like maybe they want to collab with you on a project or something. How would somebody reach out to you?
You can hit us up on the Bad Luck Facebook page, or you can find us really on TikTok, Instagram, badluck_Ohio on both of those. And yeah, I would say probably the best way to get a hold of us would be the Bad Luck Facebook page, because that way you can get to all of us.
Yeah.
Like all of us are linked in on that account. I don't think we all have access to the same Instagram, so definitely, if you're gonna hit me up and you want to work, definitely hit me up on Facebook.
So there you go. Find them on Facebook.
Bad Luck page.
Bad Luck. Just search Bad Luck on Facebook. It's one of the first musician pages that pops up.
Not the pop punk band.
No.
I'm still kind of waiting for them to come after us and make us change our name, but I hope they don't do that. I've been kind of waiting.
Hey, you know,
we've been brainstorming other names if that happens. Just hopefully can get that following to stick with us, and that's going to be the scariest part when it happens.
For sure.
Not if it happens, when it happens.
When it happens.
It's going to happen.
You got to have that mindset.
Yeah.
So once again, Tim, I want to thank you for coming on with us this week.
Yeah, it's been a great time.
You can give any shout outs out there? You want to
care if I take advantage of your comments on this video?
Oh, not at all.
I'm going to post a link to the Support Your Local Artist Tiffin, Ohio playlist. It has a bunch of artists from Tiffin, Ohio, from West Gibson, Open Wound, Dissected, Martin Coop.
Coop.
Dude. Good folk music.
Have you ever watched his set? His set is like an experience. So
yeah, dude.
Check it out.
That guy is really fun to watch. Like, folk music is crazy, and just like there's just so many different sounds coming out of our own backyard that we don't even know about.
Original music, people. Original music. Support original artists.
Yeah.
People who are out there creating new music. Not just playing songs you've already heard before. If you want to do that, there's karaoke. There's a jukebox.
Yes.
You have, you know, how many different musical outlets at your disposal. Just listen to the song that you want to listen to. You don't need to hear another band play it. You know.
And also,
I feel like if you're in a band, you should be making music and making original music.
A big thing is I feel like a lot of people will just scroll past your stuff instead of like sharing it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they realize how much a share actually gets your stuff out there.
Well, and now Facebook has started paying us for comments, likes, shares, reacts, all of that stuff. So I can't tell you how much that helps us. That's why I always try to throw it out there. Like, please share the video, like, follow, subscribe, all the platforms, because, you know, that helps more than you know. Like, you think it's just, you might think it's annoying. You might think whatever about it. You might think, oh, this guy here, he is shilling for his product again or whatever. But I'm telling you, folks, this is how we keep the lights on. This is how we keep doing what we're doing.
And that's the thing. That's another thing I need to get over is, like, next year I want to be, I hate to say it, but I'm going to be more annoying with my posts.
Good.
Like, I'm going to, because the way I look at it is the people that actually do support us and the things that we do, they're not going to care if we keep posting.
No, they want to see more.
Over and over again.
It
might even be a little reminder, be like, hey, oh yeah, I forgot to check that out or something like that. But, like, if you're going to delete me on Facebook for trying to promote the things that I love,
then you don't need to be on my Facebook.
Yeah, no, I don't need you.
No, sorry.
That's from the source.
Like, I feel the same way about this, what we're trying to do with Heart of Ohio Sports. It's like, I have plenty of friends who are out there doing stuff that I have no interest in. And what I do, I'll scroll just past it. I will just scroll past it.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have any interest in sports or what we're trying to do, that's fine. Just scroll past it. It's not that hard. Don't unfollow me or block me or unfriend me on Facebook because, oh my God, he's so annoying with all of his posts and all he talks about is Heart of Ohio Sports. I'm trying to build something here. Of course, that's all I talk about.
But at the same time, if you do, see you.
Bye.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to follow my dream.
Yep.
And if you don't support that, then I guess I don't need you around.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why I'm glad that we have this community around here where everybody supports everybody.
Everybody.
You got somebody supporting you right here in the comments.
That's right.
Hey, honey. What's up, boy?
There you go.
Hey. Good to see my boy here.
We do have something else coming up tomorrow. We'll have high school basketball back on Heart of Ohio Sports. Back on the call with Tommy Hall.
Oh, man.
We'll be back over there at Tiffin Columbian Gymnasium for tomorrow night's game between Tiffin Columbian and Norwalk. Boys basketball right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Tune in right around 7 o'clock for tip-off, right, Greggy? 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, around 7 o'clock.
You have 7:30 on.
Okay, so I would say tune in closer to 7:30 then for tip-off. But I'd say keep your eyes peeled around the page sometime around 7:15, 7:30.
I don't control the basketball game times. That's not my deal.
Those broadcasts for games always start on time.
Here on time, my guy.
Yeah. It's the shows that we're kind of loose with time about. But they start on time because that's what time the game starts. So we can't really control that.
I'm just gonna start putting ish on all the time.
Ish. But all right, tune in tomorrow night for high school basketball. As for us tonight, that's pretty much going to do it. Once again, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Tim Matthews for coming on with us.
Support Tiffin Music.
Absolutely. Also, big shout out. Thank you to Cody Dull with Keeping It Geekly coming on with us for that interview. And thanks to Greg Kinn, the wizard, on the ones and twos, keeping us live once again. Thanks to all of you. If you've made it this far, please help us out. Share, drop us a comment saying, hey, we love the content. Something. Just react with it, interact with the post in some way, shape, or form so that Facebook gives us a little bit of money. We're just being honest here. I'll be open and honest. I'm just trying to make some money here. And what I really want to do is try to spread this message. And that is what we're trying to do here at Heart of Ohio Sports. Get the word out.
And stream my music so I can quit my day job.
That's right. Stream all of the stuff. Bad Luck. Find it on Spotify.
Yep.
Find the latest project, Bad Luck.
You find it on Apple
featuring
Music.
West Gibson.
Yeah, the Spiral remix, the Bad Luck remix. You can find it on every streaming platform. It's just, it's really hard to promote all the platforms, so we focus on Spotify. But if you look up Bad Luck, you can find us on pretty much everything.
There you go.
Like Tidal, Deezer. I don't know who uses Deezer, but there's got to be someone.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody out there.
Yeah.
Once again, man, thank you. Appreciate your time, dude.
It's been awesome.
It's been a blast. All right. For Tim Matthews, Cody Dull, and Greg Kinn, I'm Nate Mullins signing off from Studio Squared here in downtown Tiffin. You've been watching Mullin It Over here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Have a good night, everybody.